Welcome to my first UFC full fight breakdown and prediction video for UFC 261. Our first bout is a real stinker in my opinion, Ariane Carnelossi vs Liang. Liang coming in hot making her debut, but I'm struggling to pick her here big time. She will need takedowns, otherwise I think Ariane will piece her up for 15 minutes. Ariane has been in the octagon with the likes of Angela Hill. I mean, yes, she lost via doctor's stoppage, but she was keeping up with her before that. I feel Ariane is going to do well at stopping the takedown attempts here and will outstrike Liang, winning a 30-27 or perhaps even a 29-28 decision victory. So my final pick is Ariane Carnelossi to win via decision. Our next punch-up will be Jeff Molina vs Aori Qileng. Jeff is coming off the Contender Series with a close victory over Jacob Silva, while Aori is making his debut. I sense a close fight here, but I think Aori Qileng is going to slightly edge it over Jeff for yet another decision victory. For the record, this one I am not very confident at all, and I won't be betting my drug money here. Yet another Chinese debutant here with Rong going up against Rodrigo Vargas. I feel like Zhu is going to completely cancel Rodrigo here, knocking him out in round 1. Following this knockout victory, I think Rodrigo Vargas is going to be let go by the UFC, as he just doesn't seem to be at that level. So the pick here is Rong via round 1 KO. I'm tempted to even bet this one. The next bout is fireworks in my opinion, with Dannaa Batgerel vs Kevin Natividad. I initially was siding with Kevin here, but after looking into the competition he's faced, and how he fought in his last fight versus Miles Johns, I'm siding with Dannaa here. Both men are can crushers, but I feel Kevin makes it so much closer in his fights than Dannaa does. I believe that Dannaa goes in there on Saturday, and knocks Kevin's lights clean out inside the first round. The betting line reflects this opinion, as Dannaa opened up as a -150 and is now a -185. I think this line will continue to move in this direction. Therefore that not so hard-earned drug money will be going on Dannaa Batgerel via knockout in the very first round. Our next fight is a difficult one to predict, Tristan Connelly vs Pat Sabatini. Tristan coming off that well-aged win versus Michel Pereira, although Michel demonstrated poor fight IQ in that fight with that jumping jack bullshit. Pat Sabatini is coming into this one on a 2-fight win streak, though this wasn't obtained within the UFC. I've seen mixed opinions on this one, probably one of the hardest fights to call on the fucking card. However, you know your boy's got his eye set on one of these gentlemen, and his name is Tristan Connelly. I know he's had a layoff from fighting to have surgeries, but that Michel win has to mean something here. My pick is a close 29-28 decision win for Tristan Connelly. Up next we've got a good one for sure, Brenden vs Karl Roberson. Brenden is coming off a loss to Sean Strickland. In that bout he gassed out hard and got pieced up for as long as the fight lasted. However, I think he would have improved on this flaw in his game, and should come into this scrap with at least a half-decent tank and not one of a fat kid on sports day. Brenden also having very nice wins over the likes of the shit-talking non-wrestling Kevin Holland, knocked out Tom Breese, and a decision win over Kyle Dorcas. His opponent Karl tapped like chicken to Marvin Vettori, but at the end of the day Marvin is a fantastic mixed martial artist, so that's to be expected. Karl also having great wins over very good opponents. This is a difficult one to call. Brenden may get the sub here, but I can also see Karl knocking him out if his gas tank is as poor as it was in the Strickland fight. I will have to side here with Brenden to get the win via submission in round 1, but I may very well be wrong. This next one should be exciting for as long as it lasts. Dwight vs Stefan Sekulik. A difficult surname to pronounce for a computer-generated voice, that's for sure. Nevertheless, we move in for the killer prediction here. I feel Grant is going to lay down some heavy power here and completely flatten Stefan within the first round. Your boy is quite confident on this play, I must admit. Stefan hasn't been in the octagon for some time, and they've matched him up here against a beast in Grant. I think Grant will attempt to get back in the winning column here with a potential fight of the night knockout, handing Stefan his second loss within the UFC. Yet again that drug money is going to be landing on the head of Dwight via knockout in the first round. Our last prelim fight should also be fireworks. Randy Brown vs Alex Oliveira. Randy is coming into this fight coming off the back of a loss to a great fighter in Vicente Luque via KO, and Alex is coming in off the back of a loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Another fight here where I have seen mixed opinions on the outcome, but edging this one slightly to Randy Brown via a 29-28 decision win. I can't see a finish here, but I think Alex may make this one look very close after the first round closes, but Randy will go on to get them last 2 rounds in the bag. My official pick is Randy Rude Boy Brown defeating Cowboy in a close bout. Our first main card scrap is Anthony Smith vs Jimmy the Brute Crute. Fucking fireworks to say the least, boys. Both gentlemen coming off a win in their last fights. However, I believe that Jimmy is going to get it done by grappling his way to a 30-27 decision victory. Anthony Smith just doesn't seem to have it anymore, and because of that very fact I believe he gets dominated by Crute for 15 minutes. It would not surprise me if Crute can even finish him. The Brute is the final pick. Our next fight is still my boy Chris Weidman vs Uriah Hall, a pick'em if I've ever seen one. Very difficult to predict. Their first bout Chris fucked Uriah up and managed to finish the fight in the first round, however this was 11 years ago. Both men have beaten the great Anderson Silva. Weidman's win being particularly memorable for shutting Silva's lights out after he got extremely arrogant with his hands down, then in their rematch snapped the ever-living shit out of his leg. Although difficult to predict, I'm going to have to side with Uriah Hall cracking that faded chin of Chris Weidman. So that being said, your boy's final prediction is Uriah Hall via KO in round 1. Fuck betting this one though for the record. Ah yes, it's female action time. Simp mode activated here as my girl Valentina Shevchenko takes on Jessica Andrade. I think everyone and their dog knows who is winning this bout. The question is, will she finish her? Your boy is struggling to pick an outcome here, as Valentina went to a decision with Jennifer Maia, but then was able to kick Jessica and knock her clean out, also finishing Caitlin via ground and pound. With all that fresh on my robotic mind, I am going to say that the bullet Valentina Shevchenko will indeed finish Andrade via knockout in round 2. Anyone picking Jessica, I must say this, you've got some big boy balls swinging down there. My oh my, it must be our lucky day, as we have got everyone's favorite simp magnet Rose Namajunas taking on Weili Zhang, who might I add doesn't have that same boner-giving appearance as her opponent. Nevertheless, here is your boy's official take. Zhang is a fucking animal in there, it must be said. I think she pieces up Rose for 5 rounds straight, winning this bout comfortably. This fight seems like it's going to be a war, and while I'd like to see Rose win, I am very doubtful that she will. So your boy 10-8's final prediction is Weili Zhang winning a hard-fought decision and retaining her belt. Give this video a like if you, like me, think Rose is one sexy-ass bad bitch. Even though she looks like she's done a 5 stretch for robbery. And we have made it to the main event. Before we start, I must say, I dislike both gentlemen involved here. 2 very arrogant individuals, one of whom is full of dead-ass excuses. He's even built in a few for this bout in the likely event he loses again. I am of course talking about Kamaru Usman vs Jorge Masvidal. Now let's run through some fucking rock-hard facts and address the elephant in the room. Usman is very likely to just get Masvidal up the fence for 5 rounds like last time, claiming yet another dead victory. Then Jorge proceeds to blame the fact he only had 5 weeks, and was too busy eating McDonald's and licking Jake Paul's hairy ass. Although, it's possible, even though very unlikely, that Jorge lands something special and totally cancels Usman. Though I must say, this seems as likely as our girl Rose showing us her crown jewels. With all that being said, and knowing what we saw last fight, and how good Usman is, I am going to have to put my drug money on Kamaru Usman to win this bout via decision. I would like to check the odds on the over 3.5 rounds when they come out, as I think that is a guaranteed winner in my humble opinion. Just cannot see either man cancelling the other, both as tough as a motherfucker. Thanks for watching my full card predictions for UFC 261. I hope you've enjoyed and always remember your boy for future weekly cards. I always do pretty well with my bets and I want to share them with other people and create a community here. Thanks guys.